Folks, we're here in Eastchester where this project started about 3 weeks ago when a friend of mine sent me a picture of this area where we're standing right now, riddled with trash. I put that picture on the Landmine Facebook page and it really took off. It got a lot of engagement and comments, and that got us thinking, why don't we explore this issue more with a video? We want to thank all the people who contributed to make this video possible, all of the people who participated in the video, and all of you for watching. This is Anchorage. So we're going to be making a post here about the camp issue. The Anchorage folks, are you currently dealing with homeless camps near where you live or work? If so, please comment below the location or send me a message. We are making a video about the issue. So I'm going to put this out there and see what kind of response we get. So we're getting a lot of comments coming in on these camps and stuff. Camps in the woods off Chester Creek near Rogers Park near the Goose Lake Overpass. Somebody else is talking about 16th between C and E. Here's one, looks pretty promising. The green area is one giant homeless camp, mostly on the west side of Creek. This is Campbell Creek. So you go back there on kayaks, right?
Yeah, from usually Lake Goes to go all the way down to Campbell Lake.
Is this like a new thing you've seen this year, or has it been going on for a while?
Last year we saw the homeless camps, but then this year it just seemed way bigger.
All right, folks, so we're going over to 68th and C Street, where on our Facebook post about these camps, somebody said there was some stuff on Campbell Creek. There's a little trail back there, I think, and we're going to see if we can encounter anything on the trails. Oh, damn. It burns. Hello. She had no shoes on. Oh, damn. Hello? Anybody there? Whoa. Look at this. This is legit. Hello.
Howdy.
Hey. We're making a video on just some of the camps and around Anchorage. Can we talk to you guys, or?
James Francois.
I'm Scott.
Scott.
Good to meet you guys.
Jago.
Jago?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Scott.
before they had
Jago.
So how many people are staying back here?
Have no idea. I can't answer a question like that. They come and go. You know, in the summertime especially.
When you get out here and meet these people, some of them will stab you in the back, and some of them will help you out, like give you the shirt off their back.
How long have you been living in camps for?
Just this winter, actually.
So I mean, are you looking for work now, or are you trying to?
I actually have a job. I do auto detailing and stuff.
But I've lived up here since '88. We came up in a Bluebird bus from San Diego. We drove up, and I've never left. I love it up here, but it just sometimes it's been hard. I spent probably right around 4 years in jail for shoplifting an Xbox 360 from Costco, and I was charged with an armed robbery because my knife was on my purse and it flew out of my pocket.
Are you trying to find get into a place?
Not yet. I have very limited money and resources at the moment. I just got the job maybe not quite 2 weeks ago, about a week and a half ago.
Yeah, I painted it red with fabric paint, and I had glow in the dark in there.
Talking to you, you seem pretty comfortable. I mean, do you like being out here? Do you want to get into a house or apartment? Or?
What I would like to do is have an apartment so I can have some structure and keeping 8 to 5.
Fire, tent, tarp, a lot of bikes, ski, axe. There's a lot of stuff in there. Yeah, as you can see, I mean, there's a lot of stuff back here, a lot of trash and bikes and electronics. It's so hard for me to kind of, understand, you're choosing to be out here. I mean,
not forever. I'm not going to live like this forever.
Not just me, but I think other people just kind of, they don't, they kind of think, well,
they're all miscreants and deviants and ready to rob. Everybody sees the negative side of everything. They don't see positive sides. I mean, all these bike parts and stuff, I guarantee you at least 70, 80, 90% of them probably came from garbage cans.
A lot of this stuff that they're getting and living off of is out of the dumpsters, is brand new.
Whether it be somebody throwing a stolen bike away in the garbage, I don't know.
It's a GMC Denali Road Series. I'm working on it. See, I got the bars like that. I can really get a lot of balance.
So what do you guys do with the bikes? I mean, do you use them or?
Well, I only have one bike. I only need one bike. I only ride one bike. I don't need any more than that.
We got a new bike. I like it. I like your bike. Done.
Give me some of that water.
They brought the water. You got to think. You don't? You should. I do. I care. And that's the difference between me and a lot of people out here is they don't really care. And you can give some of these people $1 million and they'll be homeless tomorrow and the next day. And what I think about it is some people really do need help and will use it. And some people, they have a home to go to. And they just come out here and do their thing and steal and...
Why do they come out here?
What?
Why do they come out here?
Good question. To just be away from whoever don't want them around.
It's just crazy to me. I mean, you're right off the highway here, C Street. You're right up, the Campbell Creek's here. It's incredible. I mean, there's a whole little community back here of people. And, you know, it seems to be a growing issue. So we're gonna be getting some more shots, some more locations. The Facebook post I made has generated a lot of comments about folks who are aware of these camps all over the city. Okay, we're here at Midtown Cuddy Park. We just got a tip from a friend of mine that said he works by here. There's some tents and a camp back here. Hello? Excuse me. Hey, are you okay? Yeah. Hey, we're just making a video on some of the tents back here. Would you mind talking to us? How long have you been staying back here for? You guys okay in there?
Yeah, I'm fine, man.
Okay, we're just making a video on some of these tents.
I'm not trying to be in no video.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to see what's going on. Not trying to cause any trouble. All right, so we're here on, I guess 3rd and, where are we at? 3rd and Hyder. Back here where there's some tents. Little fence here. Hello? Anybody here? Propane tanks in there. 2 of them. Power saw. More bikes here. More bikes with a lock. In here. Woo, a little bit tight. Looks like nobody's here, or if they are, they aren't coming out. All right, I'm here on Johns Road near Huffman. So far, nothing. I'm gonna have to contact the person who said there was some camping back here and see if they can tell me exactly where, because so far, after about a 20-minute walk back here, I haven't seen any camping or signs of camping. So I'm walking here on the ramp to International from Minnesota. It looks like there's been a trail cut in here. Oh yeah, there's a tent over there. Hello? Hi, oh, how long have you been back here for?
I'm not answering questions, and I don't appreciate you interrogating me. Please go away.
We're making a video on some of the camping back here. What, why not?
Because I said so, that's why.
Well, it's a public area.
Yeah, but I'm not the public area. Don't make a video of me.
Okay, if you need any help, we can put you in touch with some folks that can help you out.
No, I don't need help. Please go away.
Okay, thank you. Whoa, man, that guy was not happy. Imagine dealing with that friggin' 30 times a day.
How you doing, sir? So good. How you doing? Good to see you. Love you and your mud boots. You were prepared for this. Yes, I am.
Somebody.
No, look at you and your hat.
Something. Yeah, he saad that people are gonna give me shit for my hat in the video.
So this is where Zach Fields used to live. This is where he tuned up his high energy anger. I'm gonna be walking a bit to the east. It's a resource problem. Everyone hates it when you say that, but that's the facts. We've been told clearly by the Ninth Circuit that we don't have a right to immediately move people. And not only that, when you ask the question, okay, even if we had the right to immediately move people, where would we immediately move them to? They can't go to the shelter because it's full. They can't go to 13th and Gamble because it's full and awful. They can't go downtown on the sidewalks. We don't know where to send them, right? That's the disconnect here. We certainly can't send them up to the Chugach State Park.
Like some have suggested.
You know? And so the reality is we have to deal with them as individuals, and we have to find resolution in one case at a time. was a fire just up here on, I think, Saturday or Sunday.
I mean, as you can see, there's still fresh ash. When you step down, every step you take, there's ash that comes up. But as you can see right here, green as you can think for summer in Alaska. And then right over here, I mean, just gray, black
It's a wasteland.
wasteland.
The people who live on the edge of the greenbelt's greatest concern is that their house is going to get burned up in a fire that started near a homeless camp.
Do we know that this was caused by a homeless camp?
You know, I actually don't have an answer, but I'll get you an answer to that. But there's literally a camp right here. Yeah. I mean, we're not even 10 feet from a homeless camp. When I read the letter from the legislature suggesting we have thousands of acres in the Chugach State Park, and so that's an excuse enough for us to tell the Ninth Circuit we have enough places for them to go, we can kick them out, right? That's not a good answer. Where do they go? That's the question that needs to be answered. If we don't have a place for them to go, we cannot just force them off. And so what we've come up with is the best interim plan possible, regularly going in, forcing them to move a distance, cleaning up the messes that have been made, and ensuring that we have the least toxic environment possible. If we're not careful, what happens is all these people we have in the woods will literally end up on the front doors of people in their residences. You know, that's happened before. You know, and then some people argue you should just go in and bust their tent poles and cut their tents, right? And that is, you know, leaving these people with nowhere to be. It's not constitutional.
Maybe about that fire, if you guys have any information.
We weren't here when it happened.
Do you guys know how it started or no? No? Is this Muni approved, Chris? Here's some clothes. A little Gordon's dry gin. You wouldn't mind just chatting with us for a few minutes or no?
Really don't feel good.
Okay.
There's their urine bucket and all their propane tanks.
Hello. So how come you're staying back here?
Do you guys realize it's summertime?
Where do you stay in the winter?
In a tent.
Even in the winter?
Hell yeah. Like, I mean, shit.
Isn't it cold?
Would you be able to do it? Do you think you have the guts to do it?
I mean, not very long probably. I mean, I have the gear for it, but probably not.
I'm serious.
Probably not very long. No.
Like, would you be able to have the gumption to do it?
I've winter camped before for a few nights, and it's always very cold for me.
I've spent 3 winters outside.
So, do you want to be out here? Like, do you want to have an apartment or a house, or do you want to be out here?
I do want to be in an apartment in a house, but then, like, right now it's in the middle of fucking summer. Excuse my language.
That's okay.
Like, it's a really good thing we cleaned up today.
We need some places where people can go and actually be sober, right? We need some job training programs that can help these people find a meaningful way to use their time and contribute. Because most people, when given an opportunity to connect and be part of something greater than themselves, will, right? But at this point, a lot of people have fallen off so far away. They've so disconnected from friends and family and community that there's no way back except for the community that they've built up in the woods here. That's it for them. You know, and what I have cynically come to call these green belts is the API waiting room. This is the waiting room for our social service provision, our mental health, and our jails. There's nowhere else for people to go.
All right, so here on 3rd or 4th, I guess, in Eider, meeting some business owners. These people all have businesses downtown. They all work and some live down here. And we're going to be talking to them about some of the issues and challenges they've been facing with this kind of homelessness and this camping issue.
I see so many people who are way under 40 down there now. This is a complete change in demographic. My name is Darrell Schaff. I own the property on 3rd and Carlick. I have a company called Art Services North. The tents are literally on the other side of the trees. Sometimes I do art, and this is a new piece of art that I thought I needed to make. It's called The Stones of My Garden because it represents all the ways that people get stoned. These new shoots are all fresh syringes that I found. There's 11 syringes here. The flowers are pill bottles. Some still had pills in them that have been thrown over the fence. There's obviously liquor bottles. My favorite personal one is the bullet that we found. There's a crack pipe. And all of this trash exists in my property every single day. And I can walk on it any day, even after I try to clean it, and find this fresh every day.
Hello!
Hello.
Gentlemen.
Can you take us out and show us?
Sure.
Stop fucking filming.
We can be here. We're allowed to film. We're filming a documentary about
I don't
Anchorage.
want your film on me.
And I've been here since then.
Security shirt like Your fucking ass, bro.
Go get that fucking camera on my face before I break it.
No, I don't want the camera. Get the fucking camera out of my face. Get it away. Get it away. Hey. Get it away. Go away.
We're on Alaska's property, not yours. This is Alaska.
It's city property. It's city street.
This is Anchorage. I know, but that's just not for you.
I'll fucking bring that goddamn camera.
The guy is fucking pissed. He is not happy. Yeah, so that guy is very aggressive, very upset. We didn't say anything to him. He just came to us and said stop filming, and we said we can be here. We weren't filming him specifically. Told us he was gonna fuck us up. He's still yelling back there at us.
Stop fucking filming me, jackass.
This is a lot different vibe than we've seen when we were over on Campbell Creek and Chester Creek. I mean, this is a whole different kind of vibe down here than what we saw in other places where we were filming yesterday. But I mean, that guy is fucking very angry and very aggressive.
This is a quiet day. This isn't even busy. I've seen 8 to 10 tents here, and twice a week they'll be rousted out. Everyone will leave, and they'll all be back within hours.
A lot of security, a lot of fences, lights, cameras, all because of the neighborhood we're in.
Yeah, it's a big bright light up there, isn't it?
Here's a common problem. A guy left his car here
This is recently?
last night. So here's his note. I double dare someone to even steal this. I don't know what that is.
Whip. Car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find you and beat your pussy ass. So that's what we're contending with here.
Damn. Do you ever think about selling the property and going somewhere else?
I honestly hadn't thought about it until the last 2 years, but now it's just, it's a war. It's an ongoing battle every single day. I have clients who don't want to come down here anymore. I have staff that are afraid to come to work in the morning. That's terrible.
We're going to the meeting of the homeless task force to observe what's going on. We heard there's going to be some people there that are talking about this issue, some folks from the community council, and it's at City Hall. Nancy Burke, the homeless coordinator, will be there. So basically it's a task force to deal with the homelessness issue the city has put together.
Some of them didn't even know I played it.
We were on the streets and in these camps for days, and we were really in it. And now we're going to a conference room with people to talk about the issue. The contrast is actually really incredible.
The intention moving forward is for us to really begin to focus the time and the energy of this committee on discussing and working on policies. We also understand that this has been a time and a place for the public to come and to share their ideas and their concerns around the topic of homelessness. We really want to make sure that there is enough time and people present to hear the thoughts and ideas and concerns.
We've known for many years that it's there are more people homeless than we have shelter and housing capacity for, and so the work over the last 3 years has been to develop some targeted housing programs. The policy approach has been really to place pressure on housing programs to move people to a permanent solution.
Do we have extra trash cans we could be putting out in the parks?
Observations we have regarding trash cans within our parks and our trail corridors that are in close proximity to homeless camps. The trash cans, our observations are is when we come to the trash cans when we're performing sanitation, the trash cans have been emptied by this same community looking for items of value within the trash. So we're reluctant to think that if we place them there, that they will be utilized properly. We already do have motions in place where Community Work Service provides trash bags to the homeless community, and some members of that community do use it responsibly. They fill the trash bags, they leave them on site, and in lots of cases, they drag them out to the trail.
I had asked Mr. Rada to cost out and cost to add porta potties to our parks, and I don't know if you have those numbers and you could share them. And then I would just like some kind of report on the viability of, do we have budget? Do we have, can it happen? Because as you probably know, and I know a lot of the members know, we're getting a lot of complaints about human waste in the parks and in the creek.
We do see some barriers and constraints as it relates to this idea of placing porta potties in the actual location where these homeless camps exist. It's a vendor. They do work for us, but they have blacklisted areas around town because of vandalism. These porta potties get burned down. They're subject to all kinds of abuse. The wrong things happen in them. So we think we would get some pushback from the vendor about placing them in those specific locations. Another thing to take into consideration is many of these areas where these homeless camps exist, we already have porta potties in those areas, and they are utilized by the community. We have identified at least 2 other points that would be very strategic in nature to place them, and if we place them there, they would provide opportunities for the public as well as the homeless community, well, the public, to use them in those locations.
The final question I had asked is about sharps and the placement of sharps receptacles. As you probably know, and members know, we get a lot of complaints about needles being out and in our public ways and in our parks. And if there was any way we could mitigate the risks, either through having proper disposal containers available, so if someone sees a sharp, to carefully pick it up, or what efforts are afoot to mitigate those effects now by Parks and Rec.
We've done a little bit of research on that. There are locking receptacles. I know by looking at them, they will be easily manipulated to not be locked anymore, and they could be counterproductive. I don't know a whole lot. I don't have a whole lot of information on this topic, and I think there's a benefit in the municipality working with organizations such as 4A's that deals with that specifically, and seeing how we can collaborate with them to do something better. We don't know what the best solution is there, and that's where we're at with it.
I wanted to name what we're doing with the cleanup. No problem with you guys, Josh, or anybody in Parks and Rec. What we're doing is we're providing room service on the trails. Because they clean up a camp, and then what happens? Okay, they moved. They moved right across the street from Valley of the Moon
Your time is up.
into Rogers Park.
Complete your comments.
And so then they can move right back because we've cleaned it up. And the same with any kind of trash can or any kind of
Linda,
bathroom.
your time's up. I think you should hand off the mic to someone else.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about going on.
That's all right.
There's a great deal of frustration with a lot of us.
Your passion. Next up, Mr. Ron Leva.
It has become too dangerous. It has affected my health with the stress, the diabetes, the heart condition, and now the mental coping with the lack of action by the head of the homeless committee. For her salary of $196,700, and we got worse results. Something's wrong. And at that salary of $200,000, she should recall that the number one thing is to clean up the poop. And it's all throughout the city, but it's the worst down by the shelter in Beans. If you can't clean up that area, you're not gonna have any success anywhere else.
And I just wanna make the comment that a homeless shelter is not a home. That's why I'm here to speak for those that are addicted and suffering, those that are traumatized, those that do not have access to a bathroom or transportation so that they have to poop in public like an animal. This is traumatizing for all of us.
So that was my first ever committee on homelessness meeting I attended, and as you guys can see, it was pretty intense. I was told by some people that have been going to this meeting for a long time that was a relatively calm meeting, so you can imagine what a not calm meeting looked like. Ron was pretty intense. He was going after Nancy, talking about her salary. We were able to confirm that she makes $122,000 plus about $50 in benefits, so $172, not the $197 Ron was talking about. He was a bit off. We're gonna go talk with Nancy, and we're gonna get some more answers about what's going on with this issue. Hello. Nancy.
Hi.
How you doing? Good to see you again.
Good.
Lieutenant, right?
Scott.
How you doing?
Good to see you.
Is it Karen? Karen?
Carson.
Carson, sorry.
Yes.
Nice to
Scott
meet you.
Jensen.
We're here in Valley of the Moon Park, and we were at some other parks in Campbell Creek and Chester Creek where we saw some of the camps and stuff, and this one is a place where some people said there were camps before, but it's been cleaned up, and maybe you could talk a little bit about that, Nancy.
Well, over the course of the last 3 years, we've been putting in place some procedures that really tie together the Parks and Recreation Department, the administration, police department, the fire department's involved with us, solid waste services, and other muni agencies to make sure that when we address an area, we're able to fully clean it and to use our tools to connect to outreach services so that we're not just stirring people to the next location. We want to connect them with providers. There's no legal way to say to them, you can't come back into this public space. It's a public space.
Isn't it technically against the law to sleep in a public space or a park?
It is illegal to camp within the park system, and that's why we have the abatement process to not allow that. We do give a 10-day posting or 10-day warning that you need to leave, or we can take your stuff.
Some of the camps we encountered in Campbell Creek and Chester Creek, a whole bunch of bike parts, wheels, tires, tools. I would venture to say most of that's probably stolen.
We can't take the property because we think it's been stolen. We have to have evidence that it has been stolen or illegally obtained before we can take it.
The municipality is the government entity. We're one partner.
Tires.
And our role is to figure out
garbage bin,
what resources are in the community, help coordinate them.
David, what are you doing?
And then figuring out where the gaps are and trying to plug them.
Doing something good.
Spent like $400.
I have a pacemaker right here.
I actually represent you on the Anchorage Assembly, and I'm going to leave my card here.
I don't belong out here, out in the streets. Look at me.
The best way for us to see this is to just come spend.
Not just you, anybody down here. Anybody in general to see how it really is down here. People down here get treated differently. And the only true way y'all are gonna get to the perspective is to leave your home, leave your cars and trucks at home, grab a sheet, and come down here and spend a couple nights.
Where are you from?
Here, born here, raised in Ketchikan.
Me too.
What about you? You're
born here, wasn't even a state yet. I was born in the territory of Alaska, right where Benny Hanna's is. Used to be the first Providence hospital.
No, we had literally given up our daughter 2 years ago for open adoption because we were not in the right state of mind to have our daughter. And we decided that open adoption was the best thing because we were here when we found out we were pregnant.
You can still see the kid?
Yeah, she's 2 years old now. She calls me mom and him dad.
Do you have a home? Do you have a place to go?
My home's right there. Right behind that great tent. Right now, that's our home.
That's my home right here. Thank the Lord that at least I have a rain fly.
So I mean, you guys feel like there's help for you if you want. You want help?
If we could get more help out here, it would be great. You know, just a little bit more like you guys. You know, coming out and actually asking us our stories.
But you can't just do stuff for people because that's going to make them just lazy.
Well, I mean,
you just can't come up to somebody and go, hey, here's $100, and because
yeah, we're not.
99% of the people are going to buy booze or drugs with it.
So as we all know, the city of Anchorage has been dealing with this issue for many, many years. It seems to some people that the problem is getting worse. Thanks. But it's hard to say. We do know that there's people out here every day and they struggle. And as the city tries to fix this problem and deal with this issue, it's important to remember that there's people out here with names and faces every day. There seems to be two Anchorages, the Anchorage that we all know and another Anchorage that I myself have lived for 15 years I'm guilty of not really ever experiencing. And now that I've experienced it and seen it, it really shows just what kind of problem we're dealing with here in Anchorage. And again, it's up to us as a community to figure out how we're going to solve this issue and fix it for everybody.